role. Do you guys have a least favorite? It's got to be something that you regret doing.
Yep. Weevil on Powerpuff Girls team. Because of exactly what we were just talking about. Ratcheting the voice, screaming. I had no idea that it was going to turn into what it did, i.e. every episode. And it was brutal. And I don't have a raspy voice. I don't get hired to have a scratchy, cool, textured voice. So when I come in the next day to work with a scratchy, cool, interesting voice, people are like, what happened to you? Not a good thing for me. So that would be why I regretted that character. Purely because of what it did to my voice. Not because of the character itself, and I enjoyed the things that he did, but anyways, that's my quick answer.
I don't usually have an answer to this question, but I'm in Vancouver, so I'm totally gonna make one up. Okay, so like I alluded to earlier, I've worked on, I think, 5 Gundam series, and on one of them, it was one called Gundam Seed Destiny, and I played a character named Diarca, who I loved. And then I also, Diarca gets a woo, I like that. And then I also played another character on that show, whose name was Aul, and I loved him too. So this is a trick answer. The thing I didn't like about that character is, and this is a spoiler, but if you haven't seen it, too bad. It was spoiled for me too. I was at a convention and somebody comes up and says, oh, so what do you think about your character getting killed off? I'm like, oh, we're not that far yet. So every session I went in just waiting for my character to get killed off. And I got really excited about it, right? Because I've died a million times in the Gundam universe as like Pilot 39B, right? And boom, and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm like, okay, well, now I have a regular character who's going to get killed off. I'm going to have like an epic Gundam death moment. And so I'm prepping for it. So every day I'm in there, am I dying today? No, Brad, not today. Maybe tomorrow. Okay. All right, so then the one day, you're dying today. Yes, okay, I'm ready for this. So we get up there, and he's in his Abyss Gundam, and his big battle goes for like ever. And then epic triumphant arc of this battle, and he gets impaled by a gigantic staff.
Ew.
Yeah.
Says Revy.
Yeah, exactly. Revy, you've done much worse. So, but he didn't explode or scream or whatever. My big triumphant death cry was, that was it. And then his Gundam sinks to the bottom of the ocean. Like, oh. I mean, it was the best ever, but still.
I would say any character that I played that didn't make it past the pilot episodes.
More questions this part. Let's go to the front right here. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You're in the front.
Okay, from each of you, what is the best key piece of advice you could give to somebody who wants to actually get into voice acting seriously?
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, the key piece of advice to want to get into voice acting. I was
already there.
Hmm?
The want's already there. It's actually.
Oh yeah, no, not just one. But the voice acting part, most people I meet, they think the voice part is first. I do great voices. The acting part is first. You need to know how to act first. That's always what I recommend, is to, whether you have a theater group in school, or a theater company, or an amateur company, or even if a small groups that get together and do training together and work together. The acting part is what I always recommend that people work on first, because we run into it all the time. People have phenomenal voices and just, man, that guy sounds great. I get into the studio and you put the page in front of them and it's just a great voice reading. No, we need more emotion there. That guy needs to be doing this. Because animation is kind of a step above reality, and it's more than just speaking in your regular voice. And I always tell people, learn how to act first, and then the voice stuff will come after. Which it did, I think, for probably every single person sitting at this table. They started as actors first. There's very few that I've ever run into. It's like, actually, no, I've never done any acting of any kind except studio work. I don't know if I know one. That's not. I haven't done stage, theater work, or improv, or film, something, and then they end up in voice because they're just talented performers.
Yeah.
No, that's a good answer. I mean, I think everybody kind of seems to have a slightly different way they got into it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of the key point. What I would say, because I've been doing this for quite a while, so I kind of fell into it. But like we're talking about, I started off doing theater, then I was doing on-camera stuff, and then I had my first audition for a cartoon, which was a show called My Little Ponytails, and I got it, and I kind of fell in love with animation from there. But when I started doing it, there wasn't a lot of agencies that had like voice divisions and things. Now voice work is so big with, you know, the boom in Pixar movies and, you know, all these animated series. I mean, computer graphics, all that kind of stuff, internet, everything. So it's a big industry now, and we have all these tools at our disposal. So, you know, to kind of add something, do your research, figure out what's happening in your area, and use all the resources at your disposal to learn more about the industry, and find a way to get in touch with agencies that have departments devoted to voice acting and ask them the right questions, basically. Do your research, I suppose, because it's not the easiest thing to fall into, and even when you're into it, it doesn't mean that, okay, that's what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. It's still all very project to project, and that's the basis. It's an industry of rejection, too, so if you don't have a thick skin, yeah, it's a tough one.
I agree totally with Brad. I think that if you're really serious about getting into it, you should find a really good training place to do that. Like, check it out. And in your location, I think if you talk to the talent agents who are, you know, who are primary talent agents in the city who do on-camera representation as well, they'll be able to tell you for all modes of acting, you know, who to go see, etc. Because there's a lot of ideas about what it's like and what you need, and a lot of people think, for example, that if you can mimic other actors or famous people, that that's a talent that you'll use primarily in voiceover, which it isn't. And to be honest about yourself and honest about what you can do, again, that would probably be through training. But I agree, get research and find out what's required. Talk to the talent agents in town to see where the training is. And know that I think the most important elements are energy, clarity, making it visual, which is the acting Brian was talking about, and taking direction, I think, is the key, if you can take direction. And actually, I didn't come from an acting background. I came from production, although I mean, in high school I dabbled a bit here. But and Mike Donovan, I think, was a DJ. He's a director, up north somewhere. But do your research, and also have other people tell you how you sound. Because I used to think that I did a really good boy voice in my early days, and my friends would say, "That's an amazing female crow. That's incredible." I'm like, "That's not a crow." "Yes, it is." "No, it's not. It's not a crow. It's a boy." "No, Kathy, it's a crow and it's a girl." And I'm like, "Really? Okay, I'll be a neurosurgeon after all." You know. Anyway, that's what my suggestion would be.
Should we grab some more? Go for it.
Oh, well, we got the other voice.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can't, everybody has said stuff that is, I can't emphasize enough. I mean, basically, you know, it's been said. The pieces of advice that have been given are awesome, because the acting thing is huge, and you have to make sure that you understand that. But something from a kind of a more personal level, maybe, is that if you're not somebody who is insanely versatile, i.e. can play every character in an animated series from top to bottom, male and female. That would be me. I'm not the most versatile person on the planet. I can play some things, and I have a certain amount of range, and I have a fairly wide range within girls. But you're really good with guns. There is a place for you if you're really good. So don't, my reason for saying that is try not to get discouraged, especially in the beginning, trying to come up with voices, a million different voices, and there's where you land into trouble, right? Talking about voices, they're characters. If you're starting off with 4 or 5 really strong characters, that's okay. They will develop. And if you're really good, you will get the opportunity to develop, and you will get the time to develop it on your own. Work on your own to develop these characters. But don't get discouraged because you're not the woman of 100 voices. Because I'm here to tell you, you can make a career without 100 voices.
I've always wanted to be the woman of 100 voices.
Yeah, you are.
Do my make sense, you guys, up here?
Totally.
That's great.
I think what Rick's also just saying is that there are all these roles, as you know, in something like Death Note, Gundam Wing, and this one, Black Lagoon, that they're human being drawn characters. So they require natural voices, and they therefore require natural acting. So again, you don't have to, hey everybody, do some cuckoo thing like this and woohoo, you know, go mental to get work. So if you're that kind of actor, then it would be the naturalness of acting, and I think your range comes in age, energy, and attitude.
A little bit of mental helps, though.
Insanity's a good thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dean?
Yeah, I agree with everything that you said. That actually, they said everything I was going to say. No, but I believe that everybody has a voice, and like each and every one of us here, our voices have a different quality, and it's not always easy to realize what that is. So try to find out what qualities your voice uniquely has, and emphasize on that. Speak like I'm sure you all agree. I talk to myself vocally, like just because I need to hear how I sound, how that sounds. We don't.
Dean, it sounds great. Everything you frickin' say sounds amazing.
Thank you. One other thing is when you find yourself fascinated about something. I'm fascinated with accents. I'll stare into somebody's mouth when they're speaking in this crazy accent. You need to, find out what it is, like different things. We can work on different things. Yeah, we can work on different things, but I think accents is a very strong thing to work on as well, because not everybody can do that. A lot of people think they can, but they can't.
People watch. That helps too.
Yeah.
There's lots of people to watch around here. Let's grab some more questions.